Hey everyone, my name is Jake. I'm 26 years old and I'm from Brazil. But just 5 months ago, I couldn't even say a full sentence in English, not even something as simple as, How are you? Every time I tried to speak, I had to stop and think, and think, and think. I was completely lost. But today, I want to share something with you. I want to show you how I learned English in just 5 months. No expensive classes, no travel to an English speaking country, no wasting time on useless methods. This is not just my story, it could be your story too. If you've ever felt stuck, frustrated, or even embarrassed because of your English, then keep watching. Because I was exactly where you are. And I promise, if you follow this journey step by step, you'll know exactly how to improve your English too. Let's go back to the beginning. Because my journey didn't start with motivation, it started with failure. A failure so big, it changed everything. You see, I had always dreamed of working for an international company. My goal? To be a software engineer at a big tech company. I loved coding, I worked day and night to be the best. And finally, after years of effort, I got my shot. A huge company in the US selected me for an interview. I was so excited, I imagined my future, living in a new country, earning a high salary, working with the best people. But then, the interview happened. I remember it like it was yesterday. I joined the Zoom call. 3 interviewers, all native English speakers. They started talking. But to me, it felt like someone hit fast forward. I couldn't understand a word. Jake, can you tell us a bit about yourself and your experience in software development? I froze. I knew the answer in my head, but the words, they didn't come out. Uh, yes, I am. Software. I do coding. Many projects. Good. I am very good. I'll never forget the silence that followed. It felt like a knife in my stomach. They asked another question, and again. I had nothing. At the end, one of them smiled politely and said, All right, Jake. Thank you for your time. I knew exactly what that meant. I didn't fail because I lacked skill. I failed because I couldn't speak English. That day, I realized something. English isn't just a language, it's a key. And I didn't have it. I felt ashamed, embarrassed, and angry. Angry at myself for ignoring something so important for so long. For years, I told myself, I don't need English. I'll just be really good at my job. That's enough. But now I knew the truth. Without English, I was invisible. That night, I made a decision. I would learn English, and I would learn it fast. Most people, when they want to learn English, they go straight to expensive courses. I didn't. Why? Because I had already tried. A year ago, I joined an online class. The teacher made us memorize vocabulary lists, study grammar rules, do boring exercises. But after 3 months, I still couldn't speak. So I knew this time I needed something different. I needed a system that worked in real life. And that's when I created my 5 month method. Let me break it down for you. Part 1. The first 15 days. Here's what most beginners get wrong. They think they need more words. I thought the same. If I can just memorize 1,000 words, I'll be fluent. Wrong. I already knew hundreds of words, but I still couldn't speak. So in the first 15 days, I didn't learn any new words. Instead, I focused on using the words I already knew. Here's exactly what I did. Step 1. I created a survival sentence list. I asked myself, what do I need to say in daily life? I wrote down 50 simple, useful sentences. Things like, Hi, how are you? Can you repeat that? I don't understand. I need a coffee, please. Every morning I read those 50 sentences out loud. Not once, not twice, 10 times. My tongue felt slow at first, but after 5 days, those sentences became automatic. Step 2. I started speaking to myself every single day. In the shower. I'm taking a shower. The water is hot. Making breakfast. I'm making eggs. I like eggs. They're easy to cook. At first, it felt silly, but then I realized this was my private classroom. No judgment, no fear, just practice. And within a week, my brain started to think in English. Step 3. I practiced 5 sentences a day with emotion. I picked real sentences from movies or YouTube and I repeated them 10 times. But here's the twist: I copied the emotion, speed, and tone of native speakers. This fixed my pronunciation and made me sound natural. After just 15 days, something changed. I stopped translating. Basic sentences came out naturally. My confidence started to grow. But that was only the beginning. Part 2. The real practice begins. Now that I could say simple sentences without thinking, I was ready for the next step. I didn't want to just talk. I wanted to connect. I wanted to understand native speakers, and I wanted to speak fluently. So I created a plan. I call it the question answer method. Here's how it works: ask yourself a question, answer it out loud, add more detail, repeat it again and again. For example, question: what did you do today? Answer 1: I worked. Answer 2: I worked on my project. Answer 3: I worked on my project for 3 hours. Answer 4: I worked on my project, took a break, and had some coffee. Every time, I added more. My brain learned to speak faster and more naturally. I did this for 30 minutes a day, and my fluency skyrocketed. But I still had one big problem: pronunciation. That's when I discovered the echo technique, the best way to improve your accent without a teacher. Here's how: listen to a native speaker, pause the audio, repeat the sentence exactly, same tone, speed, and feeling. I used movie clips, podcasts, YouTube, whatever sounded natural. I did this every day for 30 minutes. And guess what? After a month, people started saying, "Wow, your English sounds so natural." I also knew I had to grow my vocabulary, but not by memorizing lists. So I created stories. Every day I picked 5 new words. Then I created a short story using all 5. I read it out loud 10 times. And I used those words in real conversations. It worked! I remembered everything without memorizing. I also trained my brain to stop translating. How? I described everything around me in English. The sky is blue. That man is wearing a red shirt. I asked myself simple questions. What am I doing? I'm drinking coffee and sitting on a chair. I wrote a journal in English every night. Simple at first, but over time it became more natural. And one more thing: I made a rule: speak English 2 hours every day. No excuses, even if I was alone, even if I was tired, even if I felt lazy. I reminded myself, English is my future. I can't quit. Part 3. The final breakthrough. Listening and speaking helped me improve. But now I wanted to understand grammar too. Not boring grammar, real grammar, how native speakers actually use it. For example, I heard people say, "I have been learning English for 5 months." But in school, I was taught, "I am learning English for 5 months." That's when I realized school English is not real English. So I started studying real conversation patterns. I wrote them down, I practiced them, I copied the way native speakers talk. One of the hardest things for me was prepositions. In the car, but on the bus, at night, but in the morning. I wrote confusing phrases in a notebook, and I paid close attention when native speakers used them. I also improved my writing. Each night, I wrote about my day. Simple at first. Today I went to work. I ate pizza. I was tired. But then I asked, how do native speakers write? I read blogs, books, news, and I copied their style. One trick that helped me a lot was shadowing. I wore headphones, played a video, and repeated every sentence right after the speaker. No pause. Same tone, same speed. This improved my fluency like crazy. Another trick: watching movies with subtitles. But not just watching, pausing after every sentence, repeating it, mimicking everything. Slowly, my English became more natural. But then came the biggest challenge: confidence. So many people know English, but they're too scared to speak. That used to be me. Until I made a choice. I would not be afraid of mistakes. I spoke English every chance I got, with friends, at work, at the store, even with strangers. No one laughed. People understood me, even with mistakes. That gave me confidence. Then came the moment I feared the most, speaking to native English speakers. So I prepared. I practiced 10 common conversation topics. What do you do for work? What's your favorite food? How was your day? Then I joined an online group for English learners. I was nervous at first, but I realized everyone was there to learn. I made friends. We practiced together. It became fun. And one day, everything changed. I was looking in the mirror, practicing like always. But something was different. I wasn't hesitating. I wasn't translating. The words flowed naturally. That same day, I joined a deep English conversation group, and for the first time, I felt ready. I spoke confidently. I understood everyone. People listened. They asked me questions. They even complimented me. That night, I knew I had achieved fluency. 5 months after I started, I applied for my dream job again. This time, I walked into the interview with confidence. I spoke clearly. I answered every question. Not just speaking English, owning it. A few days later, the phone rang. Jake, congratulations. You got the job. My dream job. $5,000 a month. I couldn't believe it. I called my parents, told them the news. My mom cried. My dad said, "We always knew you could." With my first paycheck, I bought them gifts. A beautiful watch for my dad, a gold necklace for my mom. They tried to refuse. But I said, "No. This is my thank you for believing in me." And in that moment, I knew every struggle, every late night, every moment of doubt, it was all worth it. Let me leave you with the most important lessons I've learned. Mindset is everything. If you believe you can't learn English, you won't. But if you believe you can, you'll find a way. Surround yourself with English, change your phone's language, watch English content, follow English creators, speak, even with mistakes. Don't be afraid. Every mistake is a step forward. Listen actively and shadow. Mimic native speakers. Don't just hear, repeat. Learn vocabulary in context, stories, not lists. Learn grammar through use, not rules. Practice makes perfect. Be consistent, not perfect. Even 10 minutes a day matters. Imagine yourself 6 months from now, fluent, confident, free. If I can do it, so can you. Start today, not tomorrow, not next week, right now. Your journey begins now. Let's do this together.